Yo, yo.
All right, we here. We're RKT, real estate and finance in the building.
Did y'all event happen yet?
Yeah, that was Sunday that just passed.
How was it?
Nah, the event was good. It was good.
That's dope.
Another one coming up November 5th. November 11th.
November 11th.
November 11th. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
That's gonna be the gala event.
You know, if y'all wanted to send pictures, y'all could send us pictures. We could upload it and show it to the people. You know.
Got you.
Yeah. Definitely.
You're gonna have to start paying me for like marketing consultation because y'all motherfuckers.
we might have to. I ain't going front. We might have to.
Like I gotta tell y'all niggas everything, bro.
I don't mind.
That's real. So today's topic is it costs to look good. So what's the the information on that? Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just about professionalism. A lot of times people don't even really think about how you look, how you talk, and even to like our event, how you present everything, that dictates how much money you're gonna make. You know what I mean? So things where if you look crazy, people are not gonna take you serious. If you're not organized, people are not gonna take you serious. You know what I mean? So that's the main thing, man. Like at the end of the day, man, it's truly about presentation. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Right.
Exactly. We taking an 8 Mile approach right now. You get what I'm saying? Full accountability because it's true. I mean, even speaking of the event, it was a great event. It was a great turnout, but we do have to fail our way to success. And there was a lot of things that we took mental notes of that we know for the up and coming event, that has to be, in place just so our level of credibility, can increase based upon what happened at the last event. The performers are great. The food was good. We had some Jamaicans cooking the food, so the food was on point. You know what I'm saying? The speakers were definitely on point. But something as simple as our date changed. Our original date was the 7th of October, but we had it the following day. The reason being is because it rained and the event was outside. So a lot of people that RSVP'd on the Eventbrite, they basically didn't come, or a good portion of them didn't come because they had plans to come Saturday, and we switched it for the day after.
You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. Shout out to
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's super important to have these things organized, even just as simple also as the roles of who's doing what is super important. Such as the greeter, such as the person who's taking the names and numbers down, signing people in. These are different things that that we need to have in place, or for any event, just so that everything runs efficiently. And the better that the more organized it is, the more efficient it's going to run. Hence, the more serious people are going to take you in the long run. And which raises the credibility, like I said, in having a business, and the level of professionalism will go through the roof at that point. Super important.
Real talk. And I think people got to understand that just the whole presentation of what you're doing is important, because what happens is that especially if you want people to work with you, spend money with you, right? They got to feel like, okay, this is something that I want to invest in, or something that I want to buy, or something I want to be a part of. And they feel comfortable with that because they see, they got their shit together. Everything is on point. You feel what I mean? And so it makes them more, more likely that they're going to actually, invest in your company or your business or whatever it is like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because the thing is, I think a lot of times people don't realize that the appearance or the marketing or the, how the whole brand presents itself affects sales or affects business in general. You see what I'm saying? Correct. Because a lot of times, sometimes what will happen is, and this is, you have a person who is not even that good at what they do, but the way that it's presented right? They'll attract customers, they'll attract people to the situation just off the presentation. But the actual, substance isn't that great. And then you have vice versa, where you have a person who has some great material, great, services or whatever, but their presentation just is not that great. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what's going to like sort of cause things to not really, go where it needs to go. But it does cost to look good, because what it means is that you actually have to, put in some work, put in some money to make everything need to be where it needs to be. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's how this podcast space. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got a guy. He's my like YouTube advisor, and he takes stock of the videos that do well, and he's like, "Yo, you got to match this lighting right here."
Mm-hmm.
I got to try to remember, like, because there's natural light behind me, so I got to remember what time I did that video. And he was like, make sure you zoom in exactly how you were on that one, because it affects the how the thumbnail looks and people click on it and blah blah blah. Like everything is a real thing. Like everything is a thing, how you look, because they say that, sometimes they say in business that people don't buy the product, people buy the person.
Right, exactly.
And so if they say they're gonna spend money with the person, they want to spend money with somebody who like who's showing up when they say they're gonna show up, who they always dress a certain way, they have a certain level of consistency, even the product itself has a certain level of consistency. Like I remember when I used to live in Orlando, like I used to go to this place called Longhorn Steakhouse pretty much every day.
Right.
And the reason why I went there all the time was because, bro, like they never miss.
Right.
Like it ain't the most expensive food in the world, you know what I'm saying? But it's not the cheapest food in the world. I mean, it ain't no, 5-star steakhouse, but my nigga, every time I went there, like I said, at least like 3 to 4 times a week, food was at a certain standard consistently every day. And I'm like, they could take my money, bro. They could get money because, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't miss, and I'm not going to be disappointed. You feel me? So, it really makes a difference when you take into consideration presentation and, the way you show up on a podcast or,
Oh, stupid.
I be working with these young cats, man. I swear, bro. But no, it makes a difference, right? It really makes a difference. Cause bro, I like even the way I turn my desk, like everything, like, cause I used to have this shit where the camera used to be turned, to here. And then my YouTube guy was like, nah, people don't like that. And I was like, word? I was like, I thought it was cool. I had the light shining and all these different colors and all this shit. He was like, nah, that shit is corny. And I'm like, and then once I started doing that, and then I went to 10,000 subscribers on my shit in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, maybe he got a point. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to take that shit into consideration, man. And understand that presentation is a big thing. And it does cost. It does cost to look a certain way. Like, even if we get into like fashion or we get into like fitness, like a lot of them dudes that you see working out and they all cut up with 6-packs and shit. You got to respect them niggas, bro. Like,
yeah.
I mean, some of them, they do it. They got steroids. Some of them get lipo but some of the niggas that really do the shit, like I got a personal trainer and my nigga, like his physique is pretty good. And the nigga eat kale smoothies, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, that's painful, bro. Cause I can't eat a kale smoothie every day. I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Like he fasts and then he has like a kale smoothie and then like chicken breast and fucking broccoli. And I'm like, bro, like I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's pain to me. You feel me? But that's the cost that you got to put in to look a certain way. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta figure out what you really want to do. Like you got to sacrifice, you gotta pay a certain cost to look good. You got to pay a certain cost and everybody decides what looking good means, depending on the nature of your business, depending on how you want to represent your business, where, I had a meeting with a lawyer the other day, and he actually lives in my building. And he came with the college button up and the shoes and shit. And he had a leather bound notebook to write down notes and all this shit. And I'm just like, nigga, you ain't got to do that. Like, I'm your neighbor. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could have came in whatever, but he still showed up like a lawyer. You get what I'm saying? So, right. You know, everything makes a difference, man. Aesthetics is important, especially when it comes like image. I wouldn't say image is everything, because your products, you got to still have substance. You still got to know what you're talking about. Right. At the same time, it's like presentation, you know, there's something called what they call the eye test. And when people look at something, they have to consider they have to understand the consistency. They have to understand how you represent yourself visually says a lot about, you know, the type of business that you do and the type of person that you are.
Right. I was going to say that. I was going to say the cost is not just, you know, money wise. It's more about the building of the character, the preparation that you put in to make sure that everything is organized. The consistency of the business, because, you know, you can't one day have something great and then 2 weeks later you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things come with the cost, you know. At the end of the day, like what you guys said earlier, and which really like hits, is that, you know, people buy into you, you know, not necessarily the actual product itself, because you could have two people selling the same exact product, but then why would somebody want to buy from person A versus person B? You know what I'm saying? So it's something about person A that, you know, is exclusive versus the person, you know, versus person B. So, you know, it's super important for personal development when you actually building a business, because that itself would take you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So Monogamous Player says, soon I really want to get my suit and blazer game up. Shout out to Monogamous Player. I'm into the tailor look. Any brands or stores you recommend? Well, fellas, what y'all think?
Shit, I don't know, because I don't wear suits.
If you're trying to get your suit and blazer game up, you gotta look at stores like well, depending on which one you go to, but Burlington Coat Factory, as far as I know, still sells suits. Yeah, Men's Warehouse, you know, Joseph A. Bank, you know, depending on what you could afford, depending on your price range, you know what I'm saying? And shit, if you really starting off on the low end, like shit, don't be afraid to go to Goodwill. You know what I'm saying? Goodwill. Let me tell you something. Almost in every major city, Goodwill has what's called Goodwill Boutique, where they take the best of the best clothes that people turn in, and then they sell them. You understand? And a lot of times it's good shit. And what I'm saying is, you can go to places like that, get the clothes for really cheap, and then take it to a tailor to get it fitted to your measurements. So imagine you go to Goodwill and you buy a blazer for like less than $10, right? And then you go to a tailor, you pay the tailor $25, $30, maybe $40 to, you know, to take it in or to stitch it the right way to make it look good on you. And then you look like you got a tailored suit and you only paid like $50-$60 for the shit. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's a strategy that you could use if you're starting off with less money, or you starting off with a tight budget. You know, you could get something from, like I said, you know, someplace like either a thrift shop, a consignment store, or Goodwill, and then take it to a tailor. You feel me? So, but yeah, as far as brands, you know, like, see, with me, I think that if you're doing blazers, I think you can go to some place like Goodwill and get the blazer and then get it tailored. But to keep the integrity of like the presentation, you're going to want to get new shirts, though. You're going to want to get new button downs, new shirts, maybe you want to get newer mock necks. You understand? And you can still get those from like places like Burlington, Ross, and places like that. You see what I'm saying? But the suit or the suit jacket itself, you know, like I say, you could try out a Goodwill and then get it tailored. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, there's options all over the place to look good and to look presentable and to look professional.
And I think just to kind of piggyback on the add to that, is one thing to get suits, but you literally could have a button down in the blazer, some pair of jeans and some shoes, and you're good to go. Yeah, you know? And that's just a start, because you could always work your way up. You know, you don't have to have the most expensive blazer or expensive suit. You know, you could work your way up to those things. You know, and you could buy different colors that'll actually go together. So, like, I know for sure, like a black, a tan, a navy blue, like a gray. Get like 4 of those colors, and you could always mix match those outfits once you start to I guess, level up and get more and more outfits, you could mix match those. So
Right.
you could make like 20 to 30 different outfits with, you know, 5 blazers and like maybe 10 shirts. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
10
like
ties. You could switch
that.
them up.
That shit that Steve Harvey said, he'd be like, well, you need
Yeah.
you need a gray, you need a brown, and you know, and you get different colors, and then you could always mix and match and switch them up. Facts.
Absolutely.
Plus, what I would say too, as well, you know, you want to go to your local suit places, man, because in my neighborhood there's a local suit place where I go to all the time, and they got fire suits. So a lot of times you look at the Men's Warehouse and all these big names. That don't mean that they don't have the same qualities as these other local places. They actually do, and other local places actually take the time and tailor you down, you know, down to the centimeter. You know, have you looking perfect just because they got to compete with these top brands.
You said fire suits?
No. I said they'll have you tailing down, have you looking fire. You know what I mean? Tailoring down to the centimeter. You know what I mean? Like, they don't play around. Like my little local store, they don't play no games. The best price, high level quality suits. And they make sure you look on point because they want you to come back because they have to compete with Men's Warehouse and places like that.
Mm-hmm. That's
real talk. And you know, I think when it comes to, you know, understanding that it costs to look good, is you got to understand it's about maintenance too. Yeah. So it's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you money. Sometimes it's going to cost you energy. So the thing is that people think that, you know, looking good, you know, is something that just happens, or you know, like it's just this natural thing. Like a lot of what looking good is in any facet where you can say physically looking good in your business, looking good as far as your presentation, your marketing, all of those things are orchestrated and maintained. You understand what I'm saying? So even, for example, like, you know, if you see somebody like, you know, who's on camera a lot and, you know, they're always like clean shaven, they got to make sure they clean shaven. That should take time. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually fucking take time out to do that. Make sure you're clean shaven. You got a certain look or whatever and all that other stuff. You know, if you have a person who, you know, for example, like they're doing like presentations or whatever, they got to make sure they got all of the, you know, slides in a row, everything they want to, you know, talk about. Like, it takes fucking time to make sure everything looks good. And so to the naked eye, it looks natural, like, oh, they're just this good and it's just this easy, but they don't realize the amount of work that goes into making shit look easy. You see what I'm saying? And it's funny. The funny part about that is kind of like it's good, but it's also bad for people who are ignorant, because people who are ignorant think they see you doing something and they're like, oh, I could just do that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Lucario, remember when you had that client a while back, and then she was supposed to like come through and do videos, and then she was like, I want my shit getting as many numbers as your shit gets.
Right, exactly. It's like, no,
why my videos not blowing up like your videos? And it was like, that's not how it happened. And first of all, you gotta actually do the fucking videos on a consistent basis. Like, what you talking about?
Exactly.
You know, because people see, the thing is, like, you know what's crazy? You might have been working for a decade, working on your brand, working on your hold on, let me show you. Because like if you go, like, this shit started out as a black box. This shit started out as a regular black box. Now it got a logo. It got a barcode for you to click to order more shit. Like it started off as a glossy box. Now it's like a matte finish, so it's more quality looking. Like, it took time to get to this from a regular just black cardboard box. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is that the person who first, you know, recognizes my soap, right? They probably think, oh, well, that's where you started. No, that's not where I started. That is not where I started. Like, matter of fact, you know, you guys see us on YouTube all the time, right? They don't know that we started doing our shows over the fucking phone on Blog Talk Radio.
Exactly.
They're like, they don't know the grind. They don't know the years of like development, adaptation, evolution, challenges, and overcoming different things, and, you know, spending money on equipment like this microphone, this boom arm, how you're hearing me through the mixing board that I got over here, and, you know, the camera and everything like that. Like, it takes time. It takes time and it takes development. And the thing is that people will discover you when they discover you. So relative to them, they're like, well, I just been watching your videos for a month now. So what I see of you is what you've been doing for the last 5 months. But what you don't understand is that I've been doing this shit for the last 5 fucking years.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because time is relative. So since you just discovered me 5 months ago or 5 days ago or whatever it is, that's all you have to go on. You know what I'm saying? But what you're looking at has been years in the making. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a part of the cost too. The cost is time, right? The cost is this all the different things that goes into shit. Oh, go ahead, Lakari. Hit the Juju.
Oh yeah. So hold on. It says did I hit it yet? Pause. The fuck is going on with this shit? Okay, so it says, why the fuck is this shit keep?
It's there now.
Okay.
Leave it. It's good now. It's good now.
When does looking good get to the point it starts getting flamboyant? As in, will people start questioning your manhood? So you talking about like your appearance?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Let me hit that button.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen.
Yes.
Oh man.
I mean, it's first of all, don't worry about what other motherfuckers think about you. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, you know what looks good for you, and if that's what it is for you, and that goes with what you're trying to do, then just do what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because look at Prince used to look super flamboyant and shit, but that was Prince. That worked for Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of the greatest musicians out there. So
as long as you ain't putting on no dresses, man, you good.
Right.
That's it. Just don't put on no dresses.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
That's funny. But yeah, it just is what it is, man. It's you just gotta have your own style and do what you gotta do. But understand that all of it needs to be maintained. Right. So because look, people see the thing is that there's so many moving parts that make something look natural and easy. Yeah. And it's not, it's not really it's not really that easy because there's so many things that go with it where the presentation seems it seems so seamless because the cost it took to make it seem seamless is a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Because look, even for example, like all 4 of us have experience speaking, like public speaking. So what happens is it took us time to be able to be good at public speaking. You see what I'm saying? So there's a cost, there's time that goes into it to look that good public speaking. But a person may see us do public speaking, they're like, oh, I want to start something. And then they're just like, they don't realize till they do it, like, oh shit, like how the fuck do they just continue to talk and do this and interact like that? It's like, yo, it's a process.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So people got to understand that there's a cost to all of it. You know what I mean? That's
I was talking to Rashidi the other day, right? And we was talking about, as far as the host for the next event. And because for the past 2 events, I was the host. But I was like, we might want to get another host. So what it was, I was telling him, I was like, it's natural for us to do it, like you just stated, right? But then the person who we said we need somebody who's outspoken and who's a people person, right? And then we thought about some people, but then my point is that when you're speaking to 2 people versus 200 people, it's a different conversation,
right?
Because now, if you haven't done public speaking, now it's that first day of school bubble gut feeling comes in when you got 200 people in front of you. And now you don't, what I'm saying? You won't be that person that you need to be speaking in front of those people.
Right.
So it does take time to develop just to be that person. And it was funny because I was like, I actually think I got that from back in the days, just making music, transferring it into financial services. You know what I'm saying? So this was something that I felt like it has been happening, to Miles's point, for a while now, for years. Not even knowing it, but this is what we were practicing for, right. Not even knowing it. So I think, overall, yes, what makes it look so seamless for us will be difficult for a lot of people because they think they could just do it. Think about it like this: you ever seen somebody like Chris Brown who dances like so dope, and then you try to copy one of his dance moves, and you're like, hold on, This is a lot harder than I thought.
Mhm.
Saying?
Right.
It's the same process, you know. So I think that people like always see the end result of something and try to mimic that versus mimicking the blueprint of how it started from day one.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I think that's super important.
Exactly. Now that's a fact, man. It's like, yo, like, like somebody, it's like I always love when I see people see comedians do actual comedy and they think they can do it. It's like, nigga, you can't.
Yeah.
You know what type of skill that is? You know what I'm saying?
You know who tried to do that? T.I. Like T.I. is my guy.
Right.
I love T.I. But then he's doing like he's trying to be a comedian. I'm like, bro,
right.
Just stick to what you was doing. Like, why do that?
Is he really doing that?
No, I'm saying like he's trying
to do it. Yeah,
he's trying to do it, and I'm like, bro, just stick to like. And I love T.I.'s my guy, but I'm like, nah, bro, stick to everything else you got going on. At least operate the comedy show. Don't try to be a comedian. Like, don't do it.
And the thing is, if you want to be a comedian, you have to you got to go through the whole process.
Right.
Like, so he can't jump on there like
right.
Like he's at the level of everybody else. And that's what happened with a lot of people is that they like to do things like they're at the level of everyone else. And it's like, no, there's certain things you need to learn to get, like the reason why those people are at that level, because it's something they knew beforehand that got them to that level. So you need to know the things they knew beforehand so that you can get to that level.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem with a lot of people. They think that, oh, well, yeah, you make it look so easy and effortless. And it's like, yeah, because I had to work hard to make it look this good. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is. It's like with anything. And that's the thing I think people got to understand about, being successful, achieving the goals, doing all these things is that it takes work to get it to where it needs to be. And I think people disrespect the fact that it takes work to get there. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Last thing I would say is that once again November 11th, we are having our third gala. We're gonna get all the details for it on our next show. We're gonna have all the details for you guys for the next gala, Finance and Fun 3 in New Jersey. But we'll get the exact details on the location, next week. And definitely call or book an appointment on the website rktrealestate.com. Consultations on life insurance, real estate, credit repair, any of these areas. Definitely give us a call, and we can definitely talk more about that. We'll conduct a financial analysis, get you and your family in a better position. Last month was Life Insurance Awareness Month. We need to lock in some policies. Half the people that's probably tuning in probably still don't have a policy, so let's make sure we get you and your family properly protected. That's it for me, though.
Yeah. All right, people. So listen, man, make sure you guys go to rktrealestate.com and we will holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside your piece. We going, we out. Later. Hold on.